Well, so if you're looking at spirituality and pizza, I would say it would be different depending on how you sliced it. Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier, Mr.
Three times the charm.
Yes, they're all spelled differently though.
Okay.
It's Mr.Mister. I don't know how to spell it any other way.
I don't know. I know there's MSSR, like Messer.
Monsieur.
Like in writing.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a band, Mr. Mister. Do you remember them?
No. Before my time.
And
who are you?
Okay, if you say that one more time. Christ is before your time, but yet you know him.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'm Queen Margarita of Savoy.
Oh, Margarita, like the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite pizzas. Right after anchovy. Just
Liar.
kidding. I would never. And you know what else I don't like? I had a little bit of an argument.
Hi,
This is Frank. Hey, this is Frank. We're obviously matching today. No big deal. I had an argument with someone over pineapple pizza. And you might think on face value, the age-old argument, should pineapple go on pizza? But what I didn't like about this particular argument is this person made it seem like I didn't like pineapple pizza because it is cliche to not like pineapple. Oh, of course.
Oh, we get it, yeah. Like you don't like anchovy.
And I am not going to sit here and take that. I don't like pineapple on pizza because I've eaten it and it's ruined my mood.
Your mood?
My mood. I was in a good mood. Oh, there's pizza. It's a pizza party. I'm in a better mood. I took a bite thinking there was just ham on it. Oh, didn't even notice. And then I got sweet.
Do you like pineapple?
No.
Well, then we can't even use you for the market research study.
No, but for the research study, this is what I want to say. If someone likes pineapple pizza, that's fine. But they like pineapple pizza. Mm-hmm. I am not going to sit here and say that. I will refuse to say that pineapple belongs on pizza, and here's why. When I asked for a slice of pizza, and if I was blind, if I had no eyes, I would be offended to be handed pineapple pizza. If it was pepperoni, I'd be fine. If it was fill in the blank, even if I didn't like olives, and I taste olives on my pizza, I wouldn't be happy. But okay. I would be like, what did I expect? What I am against pineapple for is it's not what pizza, if you were to give an overview, not topping related, the definition of the flavor profile in pizza.
It's like orange slices.
Exactly.
On your pizza.
And so if you like it, that's great. Good on you. But I am put in a category of its own, and it doesn't belong in the argument of does this belong on pizza? No, it doesn't. But if you like it, that's okay.
Okay.
That's my little. I feel like I go on a little bit of a rant every time in the beginning.
That's okay.
It's all uphill from there. I get everything off my chest.
It's your show.
And then I am.
You should. Yeah, you should.
I'm a clean slate.
You shouldn't hold things in. Today is February 9th.
Yes, it is.
Before we start, I do want to say that we did lose a YouTube friend. We didn't lose her. She went to heaven, but her children lost her. Kicking It With My Divas. We talked about her before.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And her actual name is Antronique Johnson. Really cheerful, very happy, and wonderful person that was always blessing others. And she did indeed get sick, and the Lord called her back. So, well,
she is in a better place, and we give our blessings out to her. And as Christians, I think there's part of there's faith in everything's cheery, she's in heaven, it's good. But you mentioned earlier the family, and so so prayers are always important, but I think the prayers should be directed towards the people who are still here.
Yeah.
Because what did Jesus say? It's let the dead bury the dead.
Right.
And when we take that as they are in a better place. And so what can we do on earth to help? And there are people that can be prayed for them to continue their journey and keep their faith.
Right.
And so our prayers are with the family and with all the friends.
And her two daughters who were the divas. She was kicking it with my divas, and they were her girls. And you're right. She was welcomed into heaven by all her loved ones, and even people that she would just meet. But it's the people who are left behind, and we have to, what is it? Lean not on our own understanding. Like, why did you take this mother? Mm-hmm. We don't know why, but God knows why, and it's okay.
Yes. So prayers go out to all of them.
Yes.
Our condolences.
It's February 9th.
It is.
And 285 years ago, Thomas Paine was born.
Thomas Paine. How do I know that name?
He's super famous.
Poet?
Writer.
Writer.
Yeah. Did he write Common Sense? I like his quotes a lot.
Okay.
Look him up. He's super interesting. And I believe Ben Franklin's the one that brought him to America from England. He was a real radical. He was a real what quote did I have of his? The world is my country, all mankind are my brethren, and to do good is my religion.
Ooh, like that.
He was very, very famous. He wrote so many things. He influenced so many important people.
Yeah.
Like I said, just look him up. But yet he 6 people at his funeral.
Really?
Yeah. He was pretty despised. He said bad stuff about Christianity. He was a deitist. He was in his religion. What he would call.
Believed in multiple deities?
No, I think that's what it was called. Sorry. But it basically believes that there's just God. It would seem like, it would be closer to Judaism, but he also said bad stuff about them. And he would say you can find God in nature.
Yeah.
That's where you would find him. So yeah, he had a lot of God thoughts. He had a lot of good thoughts. He had a lot of really important political, always for the underdog.
Yeah.
But because he came out against organized religion, especially Christianity, he was very much shunned and pushed aside.
It's a tough position to be in, Mm-hmm. Me as a Christian who believes Jesus was God, it's always hard because I agree with everything he's saying, whilst I do believe in Jesus. And I was having a discussion with an Uber driver, interestingly enough, about this, and we were both Christians. Mm-hmm. And he was making the argument that, which is a very normal argument to make, that doesn't matter how you live your life. Right. If you do not accept Jesus, into your life,
right.
You are not going to heaven. And I get put into such a position, I feel like, where all my arguments for it seem like I am putting Jesus down, like not giving Jesus all the glory that he deserves. So it's so hard because it's like, no, like I do believe in what you're saying, but when what he's saying, which is love it, or
God is in nature.
No, before that it was what's his religion?
Being good.
Being good is my religion.
Yeah, to do good is my religion. And
so my belief is, it has always been, where there's love, there's God, and that's what's important. Yeah. You're following Jesus by living what he was, right. Which is love. If God is love,
right?
And that's not confined to those who only say this type of people, plus right. Living a good life.
Well, what was the Uber driver saying?
It doesn't matter. He was saying.
But you're both Christians, but you were fighting about something.
Yeah. So we both have the same belief. You and I would believe the same thing. Now we're talking about other people. So. He believes I'm going to heaven. I believe he's going to heaven. We both believe we're good Christians. Now we look at a good atheist with love in their hearts.
And he was like, no, I'm not going to.
He said, no. He said, how can they go to heaven when it says right here, you need to follow Jesus?
Right.
And then my argument was, but I believe what Jesus was saying was, you need to follow me, mm-hmm. which is love, and you will have God in your heart, whether or not you admit it.
Right.
And I think the problem with what he believes is it ostracizes people.
Yeah.
And so back to what I was saying, like in the argument, the same way I was making him seem like he was ostracizing people, he was making me seem like I was knocking Jesus down a few pegs. Like,
right.
Oh, it's not even about him. It's about love.
Right.
But my personal belief is with this way of thinking, with Thomas Paine's way of thinking, is it's bringing people, right. more people to Jesus, and it's telling them what is God. Like, if you just break it down and do it backwards, mm-hmm. What is God? God is love. Jesus is God on earth, and so he was love on earth, and anyone who does that, follows him, makes it, I feel like, all the more inclusive to the world and humanity, and a better, more spiritual humanity.
Right.
And when you do the opposite, you get people like Thomas Paine that probably see organized religion and say, look, God's all around us. God's in nature.
Right.
And why are you saying God is within these four walls and only these four walls, being like whatever church he's talking about?
Yeah.
Like, why are you saying, I know where God is and I know where you can find him? Mm-hmm. And Thomas Paine's like, I'm out here by myself. I see him everywhere.
Right.
And if you don't have that, so with my belief, it's that, yeah. And on top of that, I do believe, Jesus was God on earth. And I still believe, what Thomas Paine is saying.
No, absolutely. But I guess cancel culture existed all the way back in 285 years ago.
Yes, it did. Never went away.
Because he said so much good, he was all for, equality.
Yeah.
And real equality. He was known, I think, for sticking up for even women back then. But because of the one thing, canceled. I understand where people come from, really, especially about organized. Recently, this weekend, I looked up somebody. It was a saint for some reason. I looked her up, and she was a wonderful woman who used to hide priests.
Yeah,
and she
hide them from what?
I guess the government in England. It was like
not freedom of religion.
Yeah, and so she got caught and she got killed and she got martyred because that's what saints do. Yeah. And it's horrifying. You and I went to the medieval torture museum.
Yeah.
And it's really horrifying when you think about or read about how they used to torture people.
It's horrifying how not that long ago it was.
Yeah. And it would be easy to say that you hate the people who, you know what I'm saying, like did these kind of things. But for what? For what?
For why?
For why? It's better what you say, which is to focus on the just love. It's the big...
But what you said, it's hard, and I agree, and it is a harder stance to take, and I think that's what's unfortunate about it, and it's what makes people try to step away from the whole thing,
right?
Because like I said, I mean, like, me and him are both talking, and we both believe that in the same thing. We both believe, in Christianity and Jesus being God on earth. And it is easier and like it's just easier to live by the fact of like, I believe what I'm doing is right. And so I don't want to challenge any of it. I don't like, if you're doing the exact right thing, it's like if you're at a job or something and you're doing something right and nobody's getting mad at you for what you're doing. And then someone comes in and says, is there a different way to do this? Is there,
right.
And it's like, yeah, but that could be wrong. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I believe in the Bible. I know by believing in the Bible that technically is right. And it's like, especially because, like I said, we're talking about other people.
Right.
And so it's like, there is a scary part and a part that you have to often challenge yourself on of being like, am I doing the wrong thing? And it's, it's an important thing to have, but I think also challenging yourself and learning in God is just as important as believing in God. Because my question always is, what's the point of earth? Like, what's the purpose of earth? And I think it's to learn about, to get closer to God through learning about Him and challenging your faith and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and thoughts instead of just being like, okay, let's get, like blinders on. Like,
right.
I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to even think about if someone's not doing what I'm doing. I can't help them. Sorry, I can't help you. I can't think about it because I don't know.
Right.
And it's a stepping outside of your comfort zone and be like, well, this is what I got. And that's what's important about, I think, personal Bible reading and personal like learning and not being swayed by set of rules or set of things. Is like only learning and asking for wisdom. That's what Solomon did. He asked for wisdom through God. Like, I want to learn from you, God. I don't want to be scared into believing something by another man.
Right.
I want to have a relationship with you, and I want you to teach me what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, because if you tie yourself up with too many details and cancellations and, oh, this was the Crusades and this was happening in England and Thomas Paine said some things I didn't like, but you're always going to find bad stuff, like in any of your investigations. So like, if you know what's right and you know what's good and you know what's love, then you don't have to be such a private investigator of finding things out.
Yeah. There's a certain it's like, leaning on God, and it's like by leaning on your beliefs and trusting that what you're doing is right and doing it confidently. Once you believe what's right, and do it with confidence.
Yes.
And even if it comes with backlash,
right?
Like we see with Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine, look him up.
Thomas Paine.
If you just look up Thomas Paine quotes, you're going to see a lot of things that probably you heard before because they're very popular, and also ones that you like. And I believe somewhere around we have the book, the most famous book that I think is called Common Sense, that he has.
Yerd.
Happy birthday, Thomas Paine.
Happy birthday.
And oh right, you said you like margarita pizza. Did you know it's probably just a legend, but that it was named after Queen Margarita, who I was.
Really?
Yeah.
They were making pizza way back then?
Okay. Should we get to...
Let's get to Wednesday, guys. It's Wednesday. It's the first podcast of the week, so we often have a lot to say, and then we have to catch up.
Yeah.
But what we do on Wednesdays is we have a little segment called One Word Wednesday. Triple W's. They call that an alliteration in the medicine field. And so what we do on One Word Wednesday... You mean
like the sounds of W's, not the actual W's. Right?
Yeah. Oh, because you're saying one starts with an O?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's based on sound.
Sounds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What we do on what? Yeah, because imagine
phonics.
Like, if you said
rhyming,
parrot, pterodactyl. You know what I mean?
3 P's, yeah.
Like I couldn't think of the third P, but what's if you said
Philadelphia,
parrot, pterodactyl, psalm.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an alliteration. Those all start with P's, but it's based on the sound. So, guys, what we do on Wednesday is we pick a word and we try to find some spiritual significance in it. Thomas Paine talked about it before. He said, I see God in nature.
That's right.
And so we do the exact same thing, but we just do it in our everyday surroundings.
Right.
We pick a word and we find some spiritual significance, probably a French word, in it. And we talk about it. And we talk about some real world applications sometimes. Why not? We live in the real world. Real world Philadelphia.
That's oh gosh. You remember that, but you don't remember Mr. Mister.
No.
I don't even know if Mr. Mister was in the beginning of this. Now that I think about it.
Go on.
One word Wednesday, pizza.
Oh, that is the word. Pizza.
It is the word. You know why? Because today's pizza day.
Oh, no way.
Today's pizza day. I think there was a lot of deals through Domino's and
I wish I had known that before I ate dinner.
Little Caesars and everything. It's pizza day.
Pizza day. Awesome.
So
pizza
I
party.
am Queen Margarita.
Nice. I'll be King Pepperoni.
You'll be Little Caesar.
Yeah, that's good.
Queen Margarita, it could be a legend, but it said, I said that it was named after her. It's what is it? Basil.
It's it's
mozzarella,
but like big slices of mozzarella, basil.
It's like very fresh, right? Like tomato slices, I think.
On some
tomato cheese and they're all tomato cheese and something, right? But and you said they had it back then. Well, of course, pizza was forever. It is bread, and like you can get a white pizza which doesn't even have the tomato sauce on it. So bread with oil, herbs, and then fill in the blank, mushroom or whatever.
Getting me hungry.
So if you just say pepperoni doesn't belong on it, I'm guessing you're saying like the super tradition. Oh, sorry. Did I say pepperoni?
Yeah.
Pineapple princess.
Does not belong on pizza.
Does not belong on pizza, but Hawaiian pizza, I'm like whatever bread, the toppings are your choice.
Yeah.
You know, the Dalai Lama walked into the pizza place and he said, "Make me one with everything." Did you know it already?
Yeah, I knew that. Okay.
So it's pizza day.
Awesome.
She was the queen of Italy, Spain. I don't know, but they said that it was the colors, red, white, and green.
Okay.
And that's why they gave it to her. But pizza everywhere.
What was pizza in the Bible?
They, if you look up to pizza, Jeezy.
Jeezy.
Jesus eat pizza. People say, yeah, sure. But he ate bread and stuff on it. So depends on what you call pizza.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if we talked about this before. I feel like we did. I read about it before. The Catholic town of Ave Maria in Florida.
Ave Maria.
It's like a Catholic town. It's a 30-foot sculpture of the Annunciation. It's a miniature Catholic paradise, Catholic university, local shops. It was created by the CEO of Domino's Pizza.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, like super.
Papa John's got nothing on him.
Super Catholic.
Why don't I ever hear about him? Papa John's all in the commercial.
I think he sold it to get the money to. Yeah, he sold it in 2004 to investing the profits in Ave Maria, Florida.
I want to hear about this guy more.
He created it.
I bet he has no controversies like old Papa does.
I bet he does.
Why?
Anyone who's super religious usually is very rigid.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. I don't really remember what Papa John's problems were, but I remember they were not morally sound.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm saying this guy, I would prefer to hear about him.
Yeah. So that's religious.
That is religious.
And your boy, P-boyfriend.
P-boyfriend.
He loves pizza.
Of course he does.
He loves pizza, and he I think his mom's Italian. But regardless, he loves pizza, and he very much quite a few times he would order 1,500 pizzas for the homeless.
Really?
Yeah.
What a good guy. I want to be in a place one day where I can order a bunch of pizzas for homeless.
Stuff
as long
like
as
that.
I got one for myself.
And then I saw that his detractors were like, "Oh, he's just trying to be because
I'm young. I'm hip."
Yeah, young and hip. No, that he was trying to look, because it could be a poor man's food. It's just bread and sauce, and look at me. But I don't think
you should be eating olives instead.
I don't think that's the case.
No, I think he likes pizza.
Yeah. So, it's pizza day. We talked about pizza, and I was wondering, the spiritual visual aid of a pizza.
Of a pizza.
Yeah, how what would this be? Would it be how to be spiritual if you built a spiritual pizza?
Well, so if you're looking at spirituality in pizza, I would say it would be different depending on how you sliced it.
Come on. Well, it's usually always sliced equally.
Yeah.
It's a circle, just like the Alpha and Omega.
Circle
No
of
beginning,
life.
no beginning,
Okay,
no end.
We're getting somewhere.
We're getting somewhere. And it's equality.
Yeah. Okay.
As for building a spiritual pizza, I'm not sure about the base and the toppings, but it won't be pineapple.
Well, how about this?
Spencer has anything to say about it.
It won't be pineapple. How about this? We're a pizza. What is a pizza? I think if we've made one common argument this entire time, it's been what defines a pizza. And
right.
I've been saying what doesn't define a pizza, and you've been just saying, there's white pizza and there's this.
Yeah.
It's the bread, right?
Yeah.
You can't have a breadless pizza. I mean, you could have cauliflower crust, but it's still a crust.
Yeah, you're right.
And I've made a little argument about my Uber driver, and you've talked about Thomas Paine. Are all of these random that we brought all these up today?
I don't know.
Or have we been making an argument that a pizza is still a pizza, even if you don't agree that the other person is still eating pizza? I could look at someone eating pineapples, and that's what I said. I said, that's not, that doesn't belong. And am I being the same person who I argued about earlier? Am I being a hypocrite by telling the Uber driver, well, I believe this person's doing something different and they're still good because they're still live a life of love? And he's saying, no, right here,
it has to
this
be
is the way you do it. And did I just make the argument that if we're talking pizza, this is a flavor profile? I've been a hypocrite all podcast, and I will be one no more.
I'm glad.
What is the root of a pizza? It is bread. And I can believe that, but the perfect pizza is marinara sauce, cheese, mozzarella, pepperoni. I can look at someone who's eating a different pizza, and I can argue all day. I had an argument with the girl that started the pineapple, and she said, "Oh, I like pineapple pizza." I don't. But we're both enjoying pizza, and what are we enjoying about it? We are enjoying our love for pizza,
right?
And it's the same, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, and it was giving you both the same sustenance.
Yeah, the same sustenance, and especially, I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to shy away from using the analogy I use all day. It's about love, and if that bread is the love, and that's what's holding all of the toppings on it together.
That's a good one. Yeah,
it's we're not eating pizza and you're eating tacos and we're arguing about it. We're both eating pizza and we're sprinkling a little something different on it, and that's okay.
Right.
And we're both getting sustenance from it. We're both getting big and strong from all the pizza we eat.
Right.
And you know what? Let's bring in the last minute. I can make a little.
We have more than a minute because we.
I can make a little nutrition thing about it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Don't look at someone here who's like pounding pizzas and Mountain Dew, but just look at pizza, right? Bread since the Bible has been an essential nutrition.
Right.
So
Before the Bible,
we're going to look at that as love.
Yeah.
And then that is the base. I think that is what God is. If there's love in us, there's God, right? So bread, source of life. Bread, I would compare it to water. Is God Himself Jesus compared Himself to bread. Yeah. So the bread.
Right.
And then maybe everything else on it is the earthly things.
Okay.
And so there are some things that aren't good for you. You know what I mean? Like you might be like, whoa, that's a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Your heart won't be able to take it.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you eating bread for two reasons? You're getting the nutritionalness of it,
right? And
then you're also getting the enjoyment out of it,
right?
And so, I think a lot of our arguments are based on that. It's like, oh, yeah, you're eating a lot of bad stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, that's true, and you can, try to push people in the right way of like, oh, maybe you should, get less, don't get a cheese-filled crust, and then that's fine, but so long as someone's getting that nutrition from the bread. I think that's the argument. It's saying like, you need to just stop doing what you're doing. It's like, well, I'm not going to discount the fact that they are not starving and they are getting that love, and you're not spiritually starving, and you do have God in your heart being love, even if you don't call it that. Right. Because a lot of times you're in pizza, you're not calling it nutrition, but it is.
Right. So if you need to eat, and so you need to eat this bread, we need to have love, and we need to just make the best of ourselves so that we can be happy and peaceful. And if for some people that bread is more palatable, spread with tomato. Other person that's more palatable when it's spread with bananas.
Yes.
You're going to allow banana pizza?
No. But I remember I told I'm not being a hypocrite anymore, so I'm allowing it all.
Banana peppers. I won't be too crazy.
Yeah. And so just to finish up, that's the thing. If you're feeding starving people, what's more important? That they eat or the topic? Like, you can argue about toppings all day. Right. At the end of the day, the person's eating, and so in the same belief in spirituality, as long as they have what you believe as God in their heart, you can still argue. The argument over the toppings will always be there, and you can swear by one. But
when last week we said that Albert Einstein said that all religion is branches of the same tree, I guess we could say all religions are toppings of the same base.
And that's the truth, no matter how you slice it. I'm just going to keep using that.
Yeah, go ahead. It's so cheesy.
All right, guys, that is it for One Word Wednesday. Thank you all for coming. Let us know down in the comments what your favorite pizza is. Is it, and if it's pineapple, that's okay.
You know what I'm doing?
You're throwing up the dough. Yeah. All right, we'll be back tomorrow for Walkthrough Thursday. Until then, go out and get yourself a slice of pizza before the deals are gone. Peace.
Pizza.